and time to get this party started. Come on. Give it to me, baby. Give it to me, baby. That funk, that sweet, that cushy stuff. Give it to me. Give it to me. Oh, snap. Welcome, everybody, to the JB Show on RBN. So good to see you this beautiful, wonderful, glorious afternoon. Today is October 30th, 2022. JB Show is here on RBN. Warm welcome to all of you. And just let you guys know that the JB Show streams every single Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as well as I am on RBN Live on Tuesdays at 4 and on the Savvy and JB Show on Thursdays at 6. Also, I have my own channel called the JB Font Channel. If you would like to, I also have the link to the JB Font Channel in the description as well.
Make sure please make JB Font. Man. He was reading some fire theory the other day. I was checking out that video a little bit while I was driving. Video straight heat on that channel, boy. Straight heat. So make sure you subscribe to JB, my friends and family. We're crashing the JB Show today. We're here. We're crashing it. It's been a while.
Yep. I don't have tea today. I have a smoothie. That's what I got.
I got everything with me today. I was just chilling and JB was like, let's bash Obama. I'm like, bro, I'm always down to bash Barack Obama. So, it's Sunday, we partake in activities here. So I'm going to join JB, bash Obama on the JB Show. JB and Nick Show, Sunday evening, Sunday afternoon. This is probably great. It's going to be great.
Come on in. Come with me, and you'll see a world of pure Obama bashination.
It's been a while since we had a good old time bashing Obama. It's been a while. It's long overdue. Yeah, my favorite person, my first op-ed was bashing Obama. Embrace MLK.
That's right.
Barack Obama. The first op-ed, I'm like, I want to bash Barack Obama so bad. I'm gonna make Substack.
Hey, look,
Obama so bad. I was like, bro, I'm gonna start my citizen journalism activity by bashing Obama.
Oh Lord, yo, and here's the thing: we got to clown on war criminals. I mean, that's just par for the course. You know what I mean? And to anybody that's a liberal or somebody who's down for the Democratic Party, this in the chat, guess what? Barack Obama's not the only one that we bash. Number one. Number two, if you're a conservative in the chat, Barack Obama is in the same vein as Donald Trump and George W. Bush. So guess what? We got heat for them too.
Conservatives be like, man, I hate Barack Obama. If only Mitt Romney won. the guy who was exactly like Barack Obama. He's like, man, if only John McCain won that election, things would have been different. Guys, you all suck. You all suck. You're welcome. You all suck. JB.
Yo, you know what the difference between Barack Obama and Mitt Romney is? Brown skin. That's it. There's no difference between them. People want to talk about
Not a goddamn thing.
Mm-mm.
You have the same health insurance.
Slight variation in race. That's it. Slight variation.
Hell, there's a strong argument to be made that the left would be in a better position if Obama lost that his second race. Then Mitt Romney would have won. Then Trump wouldn't have been a thing. So shit, probably should have done both. And imagine if Bernie ran in 2016 with Mitt Romney as president.
Mm-hmm.
So Barack Obama winning that second election actually was pretty shitty for us. And like if you actually think about it, but that's a long electoral argument to make.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But
it's funny. It's funny to think about.
Yeah. Have you guys liked the stream yet? Look, the spirit of CJ is upon us, and he's watching. So make sure you like the stream. Because, CJ's like, let's do that light check. Come on, man. Do it. All right. So there's a couple things I want to get into before we get to Obama. We kind of have to get the veggies out of the way. You know what I'm saying? Um, so there's something that I wanted to talk about. And one of the things that, oh, wait, what the hell am I doing? I haven't got to say hello to everybody in the chat first. JB, get it together, man. And oh, let me make sure because I missed Rockfin last time. Okay, is there anybody in Rockfin yet? Not yet. They're watching, but nobody comment yet. Okay, cool. I want to make sure. All right. We have Dabby Dabs in the chat saying, good morning, RBN fam. Happy Halloween, motherfuckers. Happy Halloween to you. All right. Marxist Lenin says, workers of all countries unite. Good to see you.
What a powerful name by that guy. What a powerful name.
Powerful. The power is
Mr.
yours.
Marxist Lenin.
Anna Ringwald says, the empire must weaken. I honestly would argue that it is weakening. But that's a whole nother discussion. So, but yeah, I think that it already is. What do you think, Anna? Do you think that the empire is already in the process of weakening, or is just beginning to weaken?
The empire is literally struggling to recruit soldiers. It's to the point where they got to keep. The empire has to put workers in debt so they can coerce people to sign up to fight for the regime. That's how weak it is now.
That is true. That is also true.
Just one example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Brandy Weaver, hello to you, Brandy Weaver. All right. And we said hello to Dabby Dabs. And then we have Roman Smith saying, when it comes to Medicare for All, Obama said, we bombed a few folks. Yep, he did. A couple kids, too, some teenagers.
We just tortured a little bit. We tortured some folk.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit of torture. You know, come on, man. Stop being so harsh, guys. Who haven't dabbled in a little bit of war crimes?
Yo, you sounded like Obama right there. We torture some folks.
That's one of those sentences that no one would that should be free should be able to say. We just tortured some folks. You did what? You did what?
We torture some folks. Yes, we can. She's black. Good to see you in the chat as well. Man, I'm so happy you joined. All right.
Well, this is probably a good Sunday, man. Like, you celebrate my sister's birthday all week. Mm-hmm. Nice little party yesterday. You know what I mean? Now I'm all chill. My brother about to come over a little bit, so I can at least hang out for a little bit. You know, good to be here with JB. Good to be in community with JB, who out here preaching the truth, man. So you crashed my stream. You crashed my stream after my Glenn Greenwald interview. So like, all right, I'm gonna pay you back, bro. I'm gonna crash your stream on Sunday.
Hey, man, you know, Nick, you the gift that keeps on giving. All right, Rick Solis says, "Hey, y'all, good to see you, Rick." Eric Gray is also in the chat.
Sorry, JB, I wanted to prop this one up. You know, my man gave me a nice shout out. I read Nick's Obama bashing first piece. It was glorious.
Glorious.
Embrace MLK. Let's see if I can find it. Go ahead, JB. Let's see if I can find it. You know, it's been a while.
Yeah. A good few points from that would be great. Good to see you, Eric Gray. He says, "What's up, everybody?" Techno Estate says, "Marx America great again." I like that. Marx America great again. I love that. Holly Horn is also in the chat. CBC, welcome to Jam Rock. Good to see you. Oh, thank you, by the way. About the thumbnail. You see, Mika says, voted green 16 and 20, confused independent since 80. Man, you were awake earlier than some of us. Thank you so much for being awake earlier. All right. Let me see. Who else is in the chat I didn't get to say hello to? Pachico Ron says, "Hey, JB and Nick." Hey, Pachico. All right. Jenna Kobe's in the chat. Good to see you. Spice and Sun and Sparkles. That's when I see him. All right. And then Moused It says, "I'm staying in bed for peace today." Go ahead, man. It's Sunday. Dana Fairbanks says, "Hi, everybody." Hey, Dana. Wrestle Kid says, "Don't fall for the okie doke." Yes. Benta Cafe says, "Sunday Obama bashing." That's right. It's Sunday, and it's Meet the Press. Obama bashing segment. All right. And then we'll do a couple more. Critical Mind Show. Good to see you. And Bad Cookies. Good to see Bad Cookies saying what's up to everybody else in the chat. All right. So good to see you.
Let's see you
Good to
guys
see you
getting
too,
along.
Henry.
Let's see you guys.
All right. All right. So, starting on something that I wanted to talk about. Wall Street. The enemy of the people. Yes. I mean, some people would look at me like I'm crazy, like the enemy of the people. Yes. Wall Street's the enemy of the people because they are basically a huge conglomerate of all the most richest people in the world that own about 80% of all the shares on Wall Street. So guess what? It's basically the enemy of the people. They're getting happy. Why are they getting happy? So I'm going to share an article with you guys, and we're going to talk about this just for a second. And one of the things that I am very happy about is there's a little website that somebody like me just discovered recently that I'm happy about. It's called World Socialist Website. This was based, and this is an article that says Wall Street cheers the prospect of mass unemployment. So this is one of the articles we're going to get into before we get to Obama. But this is also kind of related to Obama. Why? Well, back in 2008, after Obama won the presidency and he became President-elect Obama, he decided to put a few Wall Street people in his cabinet. And this was even attacked, by people like Dr. Cornel West, who said, well, if he has a bunch of Wall Street people in his cabinet, like, shouldn't that be of a concern? Yes. And then you get people like Tim Geithner, Paul Volcker, all these different people who basically were lackeys of the wealthy, right? Well, these same people who are lackeys of the wealthy, the Wall Street goons that, a lot of us tend to take a look at, are happy about mass unemployment. And this is by Nick Beams, right? This was a few days ago. And it starts off with saying, an event took place yesterday which encapsulates the essential class dynamic at work and a deepening crisis of the global capitalist economy as inflation surges to its highest levels in 4 decades, interest rate hikes by the U.S. Fed and other central banks continue, and the danger of world recession looms even larger. And so it talks about how there's actually projections that there is going to be a even larger recession. And so it continues, it says the financial speculators are salivating at the prospect of a recession, knowing full well that the Fed's policies are aimed at not curbing corporate price gouging and bumper profits, but slashing workers' wages. And so what the Fed is basically doing in order to combat the inflation that is happening right now in the United States is, instead of telling these companies and forcing these companies to either slash their prices or to stop giving all the money upward to a lot of these people who are in the corporate sectors of our society and start paying people more or making people pay less for goods and services. Instead, what they're doing is they're going to slash and cut employment so that it will make more people unemployed in order to lessen the burden of inflation.
So capitalism working as designed. So yes. When economies are hit hard and when capitalism fails, as it's designed to do every 5 to 8 years, they then shift the burden on the workers, austerity economics. There's a core principle of trickle-down economics that both parties endorse in this country. And once again, there's not an accident, it is by design. But go ahead, JB.
Yes. So, The Quiet Part Out Loud by Gary Cohn Gary Cohn said we're going to have to see job destruction if we are really going to see inflation be curtailed. Job destruction. That is scary on its face. The fact that they're saying some of y'all are going to have to go into the poorhouse in order for us to do better. But who will be doing better? Who are they trying to get to do better? Right? This also continues. We now have a smaller labor force population in the United States, so businesses are having to pay workers more to attract them into the labor force, which is inflationary. Wages go up, so this is inflationary. Well, here's the thing. Remember that whole spout, especially in 2021 and the earlier parts of 2022, where they were saying nobody wants to work anymore, right? Because a lot of people were basically saying that if you want us, then you're gonna have to pay us more. Well, guess what? They did. Some of them did acquiesce to paying us more, but also what did they do? Some of them essentially did raise their price, but not because they're paying us more, but because they're greedy assholes who decided that they actually want more money into their coffers. And so they wanted to combat the protections that we are essentially trying to fight for as workers today. And so, they end up paying people more. Some of them did. But at the same time, who came out on the good side of a lot of what's been happening in the economy? Well, it's the billionaires, right? One had a year that was so good to him that he decided to buy Twitter for $44 billion. And so, yeah, they're doing great, but the rest of us are still hurting. And even though we're still hurting, they're like, well, inflation's so high, so we're just going to have to cut you guys off even more. I love what this person said. The person who wrote this article said. This person said this claim is a total falsification, as every economic report indicates, including the World Economic Outlook issued by the International Monetary Fund. Wages have not kept up in place with inflation, either in the US or the rest of the world. So when people talk about that, oh, well, people are basically is saying that people are making too much money and we have an economy that has too many people working and we need more desperate people to approve of and acquiesce to lower wages so that they won't have to pay as much.
A question, JB, I'll be real quick. I'll pass right back to you.
Sure.
But a question that we should ask, at least if you're a Marxist, that is whenever you see the capitalists come up with these bullshit excuses, like, oh my God, inflation are high because of wages, we respond, explain your profits to everything.
Yeah.
When they talk about inflation, explain your profits.
Yeah.
So you got to talk about inflation. The inflation crisis is caused by capitalists who want to increase prices. Increase profit. That's a giant part of that. So whenever they want to deflect that from that conversation, and whenever they want to put the burden on workers, you got to ask them, explain your profits. When the 2008 economic crisis happened, and they wanted to shift the burden on homeowners and the poor, the question that everyone should ask is how you guys getting $1 million bonuses after crashing your company.
Yeah,
this is not a sustainable nor rational economic model.
No, it's not.
Nor do anything they say nothing they say makes sense. And once you have that critique, when you have a real understanding of the bullshit they spew and the propaganda they have, they want you just to blame the workers, blame the mode of production, but it's actually them stealing your labor value. They are they are passing the cost of living to everyone else. So go ahead, JB.
Yeah. So what's going on is this is a ploy to increase the amount of unemployed workers so that the desperation for for work goes up. And once that desperation of work goes up, then workers are more willing to take lower wages for the same jobs, meaning that companies and corporations don't have to pay as much for a competitive wage. That's the ploy that the Fed is using in order to push down inflation. When in reality, the problem is that there's too much money being soaked up at the top. So then, guess what? Everything goes up in price because all that money that's in circulation is concentrated at the top, and it's not being is circulated throughout the rest of the economy. Now, I'm not an economist. Hell, I'm terrible at math. But here's the crazy part. I'm smart enough to know that if you want to really truly affect people in a positive way, you make it so that they actually have a better uh, uh, standard of living, especially when it comes to their wages. So if you're going to sit there and try to make people less employed, guess what? That's going to cause a lot more damage to the population, because you're doing this in service to whom? You're not doing this in service to uh you're not doing this in service to the small business owners. You're doing this in services to the big corporations. That's what you're doing it for. Because they're the ones who actually run the government. Small business owners really do not run shit. They're suffering too. So if you really want to talk about it, let's talk about the people who are, like, for instance, Bill Gates, who owns, a huge chunk of farmland here in the United States, or the people who own BlackRock, or you want to talk about people like Elon Musk, who just bought Twitter, or the people who are like the Koch brother, well, the remaining Koch brother. You see, Meme Mamison said Marx called the unemployed the reserve army of capitalism. Exactly. And that's basically what it is. It's what I forgot who was it. I think you might remember, Nick. This dude, and I think it was part of Trump's administration, called us human capital stock. I think you remember.
Yeah, they
that.
don't see you as people.
Yeah,
billionaires don't see you as people. You're a consumer.
mm-hmm.
You're a consumer or a worker. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so I'm not going to read this entire article because I actually want you guys to read this and give this person the clicks, because this is part of the World Socialist website. And if they're saying stuff like this, then they are definitely comrades, and I want them to also get the web traffic. But I'm just going to read this last part, and then we can continue the discussion. The financial aristocracy is deploying two weapons to pursue its agenda. On the economic front, it is following the footsteps of former Fed Chair Paul Volcker, who lifted interest rates to record highs in the 1980s to induce the deepest recession since the 1930s, to batter down what? Wage demands and restructure class relations. Remember, this is a class war, all right? At the same time, is relying on the trade union apparatus to continue to deepen the role it has played during and ever since the Volcker assault, the suppression, by any means necessary, of the independent struggle of the working class against the escalating cuts to its living standards and the increasingly intolerable working conditions imposed over decades and intensified in the course of the pandemic. Basically, this is an intensification of the class war, because as it was demonstrated by people like Michael Parenti, they will not stop until they own everything. That's what it's about. And the thing is that, what is this? They're not comfortable with just having these super yachts. They're not comfortable with just having a bunch of homes and owning islands. They're not comfortable with that. They will not be comfortable until you are a slave. So people who look like us are slaves again. And even a lot of you poor whites are now slaves. They're not going to stop until you guys are there. That's what's going on right now. And I hope that you guys wake up to that fact. And this is why capitalism itself is an unsustainable model. It is a system that requires infinite growth on a planet with finite resources, basically meaning it is a cancer. What do cancers do? Let's go back to our medical knowledge. Cancers are a thanks, Savvy. Yeah, I learned that from you and CJ. But the thing is that when you think about cancer, it is a flawed set of cells that continuously copies itself and grows, copies itself and grows, copies itself and grows until it consumes the host that it's in. But then guess what? That host is dead. And that's what capitalism does to the planet. Because if you look, and by the way, I used to work in retail, and we used to have these meetings at the beginning of our shifts. And we always have to go over the numbers last year. And if there's any growth, it's good. If there's no growth, it's horrible. But the growth is basically meaning that we're increasing the profits for the shareholders. We're increasing profits for the executives and the CEO. It's not really increasing profits for us. In fact, for them, we'll go only so far as our wages, and then you can't, cut anymore because then you'll start losing workers. So then what do? And they start trimming the fat. They start cutting workers. They start firing people. They start cutting your benefits and wages and things like this. And so I want you guys to remember this also. The NLRB, any type of, like the EEOC, all of these different types of apparatuses for workers are basically the government's apparatus that is there to try to bridle capitalism. But the problem is that because now capitalists are on, they're on the seat of that horse, they're now cutting the bridles off this horse. And so because of that, now you're getting into an unbridled form of capitalism, meaning increased austerity, increased poverty, and increased desperation. That meaning that workers are be more willing to settle for less breadcrumbs than they are right now. And so this is why they're licking their chops, because it means there's a door open so that they own more of everything, including you. That's what this is about. And that's who Obama is friends with, right? Nick, some of your thoughts?
That was a great spiel and breakdown of the flaws in capitalism. And one of the things that led me to socialist, anti-capitalist beliefs was just living the reality of what it means to be a worker in this capitalist hellscape. And that's same with our generation. People are like, why is the younger millennial Gen Z so socialist? Because we see the flaws of the system that has never worked. The system crashed 3 times before I turned 30. So our generation see the system fail over and over and over and over again. And then Gen X and then boomers who are brainwashed by the propaganda, the ones who are, they will look at our generation like, oh my God, these people why they believe what it must be the critical race theory in schools. No, it's the reality that we live in. I remember when I was a car salesman, and this is the question that we got to ask these capitalists: explain your profits. Because I still remember, and my brother was laid off on his old job, where they said, "Oh my God, our financials are horrible. We gotta cut your commission. We gotta do a commission cut in order to stay afloat, man. We haven't made profit in I don't know how long." And then I'm looking outside, I'm like, explain your alligator shoes. Explain your car. Randy, you just brought a new fucking car. What the fuck y'all talking about? So that's one of the things that it didn't make sense. So every fucking month, and it's not only the only job I had. I remember I used to work at Sprint, and when they start doing job cuts, once again, like, oh my God, we're doing so horrible as a business. Unfortunately, we can't do raises. I'm like, you just gave yourself a raise.
Yeah. You just gave yourself a raise, man.
Your suit is looking sharp as fuck right now. Your house, you still paying your mortgage? What are you talking about? The business is doing bad. Y'all doing great. So that the labor theory value in real life, I see it. I seen them. They cut our commission. That's one of the reasons I quit. I quit almost every single job I had. I'm like, you guys keep screwing us. Every job I had, there was a point where they're like, "Oh, we're gonna scale back." I remember I worked as in the call center. I was really good at customer service jobs. I worked at a call center, and I was like, it was actually pretty decent. I like the people around me. Then they're like, "Oh man, we gotta change the bonus structure." Essentially, a pay cut.
Yeah,
we had shitty pay, but essentially the only way you made a living is by being good. I was one of the people who was good, so I was able to make a decent living there. So they're like, "Oh, we're gonna pretty much get rid of pay structure. You guys gonna make $13 an hour now." Nigga, I'm making $20 an hour because it's pay structure. What the fuck are you talking about? And then none of the managers, no pay cut. Their pay structure was the same. So once again, that's a labor theory value in real life. These businesses, they be like, "Oh, we can't give you raises. We gotta lay you guys off. You guys can't get the benefits that the generation before you had."
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they still balling. They still during the Wall Street crisis. I pass it back to you, JB.
Oh, sure.
But during the Wall Street crisis, these same Wall Street executives that crashed the economy, that shows their incompetence, were paid millions of dollars in bonuses.
Yeah.
Does it sound like a meritocracy to you? Because JB, what they tell you? Why does this CEO that work at Wall Street who does jack shit all day?
Jack shit.
You want to know what the CEOs and executives do? They sit on Zoom in meetings for 4 hours a day and they chill for the rest of the goddamn day, yelling at workers, telling them to do more. Yep. But they get paid, in their rationale, the capitalists, this CEO and executives get paid 100 times more than the teachers and the workers because they are brilliant and they bring capital to the business. They are the one who steer and manage the ship. And because they are such a high skilled worker, remember, I use their ideology, saying it right, but their ideology is these CEOs and the manager of businesses are such high skilled workers, they deserve to get paid 100 times more than a teacher or the average worker at the company does. But then these same people will crash the fucking economy, crash the business. So your only job, you failed. Your only job as a CEO and as an executive is keep the fucking business afloat. To keep the workers, they will say, "I'm a job creator. We create jobs." Then you guys will crash the company and then you get paid bonuses. This is a rigged game. But JB, you want to add anything?
No, of course.
I can around that bullshit forever.
No, I mean, yeah. I mean, the thing is that a lot of people, think that they earned it, and it's like, and then here's the verbiage that especially a lot of conservatives will use. They'll call these people job creators. Oh, they're the job creators. They're the job creators. No, they're not. No, they're not. Just because they approve you and say, "Oh, you're hired," doesn't necessarily make them the job creators. Because the thing is that if you really look at it, the expansion happened because of who? The workers. So then it created more of a demand, which means it is the workers who created the influx in demand.
Yes.
So guess what? Then who gets hired in order to increase the wealth even more? The workers. You see, the workers are actually the wealth creators. Because not only do we work at it, but we also consume. So therefore, if the CEOs of any one of these big multinational corporations, what if they croaked over right now? What would happen to those corporations? Would they somehow just fall? Is it like you're playing Jenga and then you take out that one piece and Jenga, right? Is that what happens with the CEOs? No. If a CEO leaves or goes right now, that's like a Jenga piece way at the top. You take that piece way off at the top, everything still stays stable. The fuck? But take out some of the essential workers and guess what? The whole shit falls. Why? Because the workers matter more than anybody else. Because we are the ones that actually make the shit run.
So
You make it run.
So JB, if these capitalists are job creators, when the market tanks and millions of people lose their jobs, why aren't these people called job destroyers? Let's be honest. Let's be consistent here. If you're gonna take credit for creating a job, you should take credit whenever a job is lost.
Yeah.
If you're gonna take credit for taking a job, you should take credit when your workers fall into poverty. So if you're a Walmart executive, if you're part of the Walton family, if you're part of the McDonald's executive, you should be embarrassed. Your workers are literally on government assistance because you pay them so low. Yeah. So why is that not a stain on your record? Oh, I'm a job creator. Your people employed literally had to be on government assistance to survive. That should be a blight. That should be an asterisk. And the way we do run our society, that'd be an asterisk on your company. Whenever there's an advertisement on TV, there'd be an asterisk right next to your logo, like, yeah, the fucking workers here don't get paid enough here.
Yeah.
It should be something you're embarrassed by. Go ahead, JB. Go ahead.
And it's interesting because my sister-in-law's mother, I was talking to her, and she's more conservative minded. And she was like, well, people just don't work anymore, and they make $15 an hour, and they expect people who work at these fast food places to be able to make $15 an hour, and they're making the same as a professional. And I'm like, well, whose fault is that? Is that the fault of the worker for wanting to have a living wage? And the thing is that nobody can really fault the worker for wanting to have a living wage. Even people who are conservative minded are like, well, these corporations, these executives will, want to take more away from the worker. But then, unfortunately, there's a lot of conservative minded people. They'll blame the liberal billionaires, but then it's like, wait, the conservative billionaires and the liberal billionaires are all the same. If you're going to be against the liberal billionaires, be against the conservative billionaires, be against all billionaires. Be against all the people who actually exploit people for profit. Dustin Schlesinger says, victims of communism? No, victims of capitalism. Exactly. That's the thing. People just don't really realize that, right? Oh, the victims of communism are 100 trillion people.
that is what me and Bree was trying to drill into Robbie's and Daniel's ignorant skull. When it was like, oh my God, look at the people fleeing Venezuela because of communism. For one, we can rebuke that fact. It's because of U.S. sanctions and imperialism. But let's explore that line of thought. If you blame the low quality of life of Venezuelans on their system, then that was the point I made on the Hill. Explain Skid Row. So if the poverty and the suffering in countries that have economic systems that you dislike is because of that economic system, then why don't you hold the economic system that you endorse accountable? Look at the amount of people that are not food insecure, that are starving in this country. Look at the homeless population. Look at the life expectancy that dropped in this country. The fact that we had no infrastructure. That's a stain and an example that your economic system does not work to uplift and increase the quality of life. It works to siphon wealth to capitalists. That's the job. They know what they're doing. But go ahead, JB.
Thank you to Twing and Ding for the super chat. Says always speaking truth on here. Thank you for everything you all do. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it very, very much. So yeah, I in the same vein, in talking about the economy, I have another story. And so please make sure to go to World Socialist website to check out that last article. I put it in the chat. It's also in the description too, but I want to show this. And this is more closer to home for me. And I'm not going to play the video because we might get a copyright on it, because even though it's local news, I still don't want to take that risk. But this is from my local station, WFTV. It says, Paramore homeowners bombarded by investor officers to buy their homes. Now, Paramore is the hood. It's also where I used to live. Okay? Paramore is a predominantly black neighborhood near downtown Orlando. It's about, I say it's about 8 minutes away from me. So what happens is now you have a consistent stream of investors that are coming to the last bits of homeowners in this historically black neighborhood in Orlando and buying it up. Let's get into the story. Okay. So it says home ownership in Orlando's Paramore neighborhood is trending down, with more than 90% of the people there being renters. So black home ownership is extremely low. And some people are concerned that the number could get even higher as investors and developers continue buying up the property in the area. Some residents say they're being flooded with multiple cash offers to buy their homes, but some people are encouraging their neighbors to turn the money down. So somebody named Williams, they bought their home after living in the community for 18 years. Now she's saying she's being bombarded with calls, texts, and pamphlets and brochures and door knocks by investors wanting to buy the home. Investors scooped up 28% of the homes sold in the first months of 2021. 28% of the homes. So it says some Paramore homeowners said investors have gone as far as contacting other family members like parents, uncles, and cousins to see if they could convince them to sell their homes. This is predatory. This is some predatory shit. And this is what's happening in my city. And so when people talk about, oh, well, capitalism is good for everybody. Good for whom? Because here's the thing. I thought, maybe I'm wrong, but correct me if I'm wrong, Nick, that owning a home is one of the best ways to actually have wealth, right? But what do you say to when people are hassling you to buy your home, and for the price that they buy your home with in cash is actually less than what it's actually worth, but you don't know that? And then you end up selling your home, but then you get priced out of the community because prices have gone skyrocket. By the way, all the attractions that they built within the area, like the new soccer stadium that we have for the Orlando Lions. Yes, we have a soccer stadium, gigantic soccer stadium. I'm not gonna lie, it's beautiful, but they built that in the Paramore neighborhoods. They did all this in that area, and it increases now the value of the area. But now the people who are living there, who look like me and you, Nick, are being priced out. So the gentrification is massive, so much so to the point where 90% of every black person that lives in that area are renters. That means only 10% of the people who live in that area own their own home. And Paramore is actually a very historically black neighborhood in Orlando. Because guess what? We couldn't live any other place. Try living in fucking Delaney. We couldn't live places like that. Try Winter Park. We can't live there. No, that's where all the white people lived. So guess what? We have our own neighborhoods. Guess what? It's the hood. And it's not being taken care of like it should anyway. So this is part of, and a lot of these investors are also in who? Wall Street. So that's what's happening in our neighborhoods. Right? Nick?
I want you guys to understand that the housing market is one of the primary ways that the capitalist class wage class war, and they siphon wealth from the workers and the poor back to the hand of capitalists. So they employ people and they give them illusion that they give in value for their work. And then once they have one of their market failures that they plan, then they take their wealth right back. So when you look at Black Americans, despite the fact that we wasn't given the benefit of a lot of the New Deal programs, we continue to build our wealth through our homes. Black Americans had we have around 1/10 of the wealth that white families had pre-Barack Obama. Then Barack Obama came in, and then they took the one place where black families built their wealth at, and that was their homes. So there's been many studies, and I talk about this all the time. I wrote about this as well. Barack Obama tanked black wealth because he sided with Wall Street when they illegally foreclosed our homes, and he was responsible for the housing crisis that kicked out many black homeowners, which tanked our wealth. And then the same thing that happens decades and decades, and that all over and over again, the same cycle, because the resiliency and the hard work and ethic of our people, we take the brunt of capitalism failing through the housing crisis, and then we build wealth back up, and then they take our wealth again through another economic crash. Then take that resource, siphon it to the police, siphon it to the military. It's a giant class war, and the housing crisis is just one small part of it. When the fact that you have BlackRock and you have all these capitalists that are buying up homes and they making it so the new generation of workers cannot own a capital, that's just the next level. That's the next step of that. That is them saying, this is the capital that we own. You guys will not have part of it, and we will continue to keep you as renters that will continue to pay an exorbitant amount of money for your living condition, even though housing and living spaces should be a human right under any rational, well-developed central planning model and system. Go ahead, JB.
Hold up. Wait a minute. What makes you think he was great for LGBTQ people? Okay, Gay guy right here. Gay guy right here. It wasn't good for us either. So, yeah, black and gay and disabled. So, yeah, he wasn't great for LGBTQ people either. By the way, when did we ever vote on actual gay marriage in this country? We didn't vote on it. It was actually passed through the Supreme Court and can be overturned just like Roe v. Wade. By the way, also, when it comes to healthcare, we don't actually get adequate healthcare, especially for those of us who are trans. The trans people should not have to raise money on a GoFundMe just so that they can have gender affirmation surgery or reassignment surgery. They should not. So guess what? Obama was bad for us too. Just because he lit up the White House in rainbow colors doesn't mean he did shit for us either. He was just as bad for the LGBTQ community. I'm just saying. But
yeah, I'll let JB speak on that.
Yeah.
He nailed it. He nailed it.
Yeah. AG said LGBTQ don't live in a house. They don't eat. Yeah, exactly. But anyways, now
it's always funny when and on that kind of same thought pattern, it's always funny when shit libs always be like, oh my god, Nick, you advocate not voting Democrat. Do you not care about gay people? I'm like, do you know how many gay friends I have that tell me I had a ton of gay, like, I don't know if you guys, obviously you guys don't know, because my very first channel, my first co-host, I had her as a co-host because she was helping me stream. I didn't know how to do any of this shit. So she was a trans. She was a trans person on my show, literally a fucking communist. And I was still like a Democratic socialist, more of a sock him. And then my trans co-host at the time kept saying, Nick, why the fuck you not a communist? Why are you not a communist? So I had the LGBTQ community dragging me to the left. So it's always funny. I just want to add an anecdote because it's always funny when liberals say that to me. And honestly, as a straight guy, I don't really have a outright defense of it. I just know that a lot of LGBTQ and trans people don't fuck with this Democratic Party too because they need their material needs met. They are victims of the police state as well.
Yes.
So
victims of the police state. Yeah, and how many black trans women are harassed by police? Like, get the fuck out of here. Come on, man. Obama's horrible. Anyway, now that we're here to Obama, welcome to the Academy Awards. It's so good to see all of you on this lovely evening. Nick, who are you wearing?
Well, I will listen to Barack Obama speak on his tour that he's giving because that's the Democrats' last hope. They're doing so bad. They're like, let's send Barack Obama to Georgia because Stacey Abrams is taking. We see how that works, but this dude is such a charlatan. But me personally, I'm gonna tell you guys what I think. because people have videos of Obama speaking, and people were like, "Oh my God!" Obviously, the shit libs were like, "We miss Obama. Obama's such a great speaker." I want to be 100% honest with you guys.
Yeah.
Be honest with you guys. Pete Buttigieg ruined Barack Obama to me. So let me explain what I mean by this. Mm-hmm. So Pete Buttigieg was doing a Barack Obama impression.
He was.
And people used to make fun of him for that. Mm-hmm. But no, Pete Buttigieg did a great Barack Obama impression. So when the illusion is done, and I want you guys to keep this in mind as we watch some of these videos, Pete Buttigieg actually did not do that bad of Obama impersonation. He just didn't have the black swagger. But the message is literally the same. Like, Pete Buttigieg straight up and his team straight up heisted and damn near plagiarized Obama speeches. I still remember they had side by sides Obama speaking and Pete Buttigieg, literally straight up plagiarism. Obviously, the Obama Democrats didn't care because they was for Pete, and they probably was part of it, right? So they didn't care about it. They didn't make a fuss about it. But he directly, like, line for line, script by script, literally the cadence was the exact same.
I remember that.
So after that, I listened to Obama now, and I've ignored the swagger. He literally sounds just like Pete Buttigieg to me now. Mm-hmm. Literally, Pete Buttigieg, the same fucking platitude that Pete tries and it doesn't land because he had no charisma. Barack Obama does that same platitude, word salad bullshit, but he does it with like a preacher's vibe to him. Mm-hmm. Anyway, JB, I'll pass it to you. I was going to
I'm gonna. Boy, see, here's the thing. You open up that door about Pete Buttigieg now, I gotta respond. I'm gonna say this. Pete Buttigieg is one of Pete Buttigieg is one of those rich, snooty gays that I just can't stand. I'm gonna be real. He is one of the rich gays that are, oh, well, if you guys really want to affect the planet, just buy an electric vehicle. Just go ahead and do that. Like, are you kidding me right now? Bruh.
JB,
like, I honestly see Pete Buttigieg as one of those gays in a gay bar that if he sees a black trans woman walk in, he'll be like, "Oh, we need to get them out of here." I can see him as being like that. Bruh. Like,
go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
My bad, JB, but I know you can probably speak on this. And the only reason I'm saying this because I hear you guys speak on this a lot, my LGBTQ brothers and sisters, especially like the black and brown, LGBTQ activists. Where there are a lot of people that assume like that everyone on that part of the LGBTQ community just get along. And once again, you can speak on this more than me. I'm literally just repeating what I hear my comrades say. But there's a class divide. As well as a lot of especially privileged white gay people. And once again, I'm literally only saying this because I hear JB's community say this as well. There's a big divide. Like the same white, rich gay people are class loyal the same way that rich black liberals are class loyal to them instead of to the black people. So I'll pass you, JB. I'm straight. I'm literally just repeating what I hear you guys say. So if you want to take that on, because Pete Buttigieg is exactly what there's a reason why a lot of gay people don't like Pete, because Pete is that snobby, privileged white gay that stands in the way of the liberation of other gay people. But I've spoken enough. I'll just repeat shit I heard, to be honest, guys. JB, if you wanna take that on.
See, first of all, thank you, Miss Joan of the Arc, for the super sticker. Appreciate it very much. Nick, bruh, you are like racking them up for me right now, and I'm just like ready to take that shot.
I told you I'm here to hijack the show just to do that.
Okay. Paintball corner pocket. Let me speak on this. Number one, is there racism in the LGBTQ community? You bet your ass there is racism in the LGBTQ community. Number one. Number two, is there classism in the LGBTQ community? You bet your ass there is classism in the LGBTQ community. Guess what? There are some gays that are class loyal first, and then they're loyal to us secondary or tertiary. That's the way it goes. Because guess what? You don't think that some of them slave masters back in the day, you don't think some of them were gay? You don't think some of them, had more food flavors than lifesavers? Gee, do you think black slave women, were the only ones that were raped back then? Let's be real. Let's be real. Let's call a thing, baby. And so here's the thing. They have been existing for time immemorial. Gay people have existed for thousands of years. We've been in existence since the beginning of humanity. So for people to sit here and think that, oh, well, just because somebody's gay, that means that they're going to be more for the disenfranchised. No, not necessarily. Because they also will use that white privilege, or they'll use that economic privilege to shield themselves, even though, you know, they're, you know, they like to bat for the same team as me.
If you're one of them brainwashed right-wing culture warriors that think that gay people only exist because of the rise of the gay Hollywood agenda, I want to present to you guys the Spartans. Do you know who they are? The Spartans. I remember, I'm in that generation. I'm a younger millennial, so you guys all know when 300 came out, and I was like, "This is Sparta." I was a teenager, guys. Think about it. Remember, I was a teenager. That movie came out. I fucking loved that movie, bro.
Oh my
I was like, "This is Sparta," but that was the greatest show. I was like 13 at the time, and then I learned. I was like, "Oh, I want to learn more about Sparta," and I was like, "The Spartans did what? the Spartans engaged in what activity?"
I'm sure there's a gay porn that actually shows that.
I didn't care, but I was like, wow, I didn't know that. But go ahead, JB. I was like,
no,
what?
I'm saying I'm pretty sure there's a gay porn video that actually reenacts what the Spartans did, but that's the whole other thing. But anyway, so
I don't need to see that.
No, you don't need to see that. Hell, I don't need to see that. Well, anyway, but no, I mean, that's the thing, and that, you know, that's why that whole thing of Pete Buttigieg, people are like, oh, well, he's gay too. So Herschel Walker's black. Do we have to support him? So that's the thing. It's like, no, a lot of them are more class loyal, and a lot of them are also white supremacists. Not a lot of them, but there are some that are white supremacists, and there's some out there that are class loyal. Like, you don't think Tim Cook is class loyal? Come on now. But anyways, I want to make sure I get to the story about Obama before you go, because there is Obama put on a performance, and this is Oscar award worthy, baby. I'm just telling you, bro, because I'm just like, man. So this is from David Sirota. David Sirota said, "This is so good, I almost forgot Obama tried to cut Social Security," which is true. So we're gonna listen to this. Sorry, Nick. And we're gonna see Obama's performance. So let's go.
Some of you here are on Social Security.
Yeah.
Some of your parents are on Social Security. Some of your grandparents are on Social Security. You know why they have Social Security? Because they worked for it. They worked hard jobs for it. They had chapped hands for it. They had long hours and sore backs and bad knees to get that Social Security. And if Ron Johnson does not understand that, if he understands giving tax breaks for private planes more than he understands making sure that seniors who've worked all their lives are able to retire with dignity and respect, he's not the person who's thinking about you and knows you and sees you, and he should not be your senator from Wisconsin.
Bruh, that shit does not land. That shit does not. I don't know about I'll let you finish your thoughts, but I'm too much of I try to detach myself what the average person is thinking, and I guess David Schroeder might have a point that like the average person may see that, but there's so many people that know now. Like when you know what he did, like not only does that shit not land, it's actually pretty disgusting.
Yes, and I'm gonna show you why it's disgusting. But the Oscar-winning award goes to Barack H. Obama.
Hey, Politics.
He won that award.
You know what they say? Politics is Hollywood for ugly people.
Yep. I never heard that, but that makes sense.
And I didn't make that up. It's a long saying. Politics is Hollywood for ugly people, and Barack Obama is the best looking among all the ugly critics in Washington. Yep. So I'm not gonna say I'm straight as hell, but I hear what my sisters say. So I'm not gonna sit here and say Obama ugly, but the fact that he's not gives him an amazing advantage over the Washington swamp. Why you guys think he rose to the top?
Pretty privilege.
All actors, they act to the same level. Like any press conference, watch any speech. Look at Ron DeSantis, and I don't know why right wingers don't see it. Ron DeSantis is literally acting, and he's trying to pretend to be just like Trump. He literally do the same hand movement. Mm-hmm. Listen to Ron. They literally are the fakest people in the country. Every politician is. Yep. Everyone. I met Tosi. I'll pass to you, JB. I know be too. I met Tosi in South Carolina, and the fact that I met her makes this shift even crazier. Because when I met Tosi, she was a radical lefty. Yep. She was not to everything I said. She was agreeing with everything I said. And then you see how quick she can change based on the grift. Every politician is the same.
Yep.
And Barack Obama is the best among them. But go ahead, JB.
No, and to add to your point, they are charming as fuck.
Yeah, Tosi is super. Like when I met Tosi, there's a reason why all these like podcasters that meet Tosi super like her. Tosi got where she is for a reason, bro. Like if you meet Tosi and she's trying to win you over. I was at a campaign event. I met her. I asked a question. She knew I knew my shit. I asked her a foreign policy question and a climate question. So she turned on her politician mode, and she was extremely charming, extremely likable, and that is what make the whole like when you meet these people and you see them do the super change, it's like, fuck, these people are psychopaths. Because I was even talking about ending capitalism with her, and she was nodding along, and now she's like, Biden is a big government spender. She went from nodding along to Marxist rhetoric to now fear mongering over the debt. It's like this is not what serious people do. You know. Yep. Anyway, JB, go ahead. I'm ranting, but that's the point we're making. These politicians, they're there for a reason. They put on such an amazing mask. Mm-hmm. That's why I don't think I can do it. I'll definitely fuck up so many times, but go ahead, JB.
Yeah. So Barack Obama gave this riveting speech, right, about Social Security, and you work hard for your Social Security. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, huh? What does this headline say? Wait a minute. It says Obama wanted to cut Social Security. Then Bernie Sanders happened? Wait, what? Hold up. Oh, Lord. Subheading says Obama administration argued in 2012 for reducing Social Security benefits by recalculating the way of cost of living adjustments are made. Wait. Hang on. Are you mean to tell me that what Barack Obama was just saying was just a bunch of bullshit? This is back in 2016. It says Barack Obama endorsed an expansion of Social Security for the first time on Wednesday. But the crazy part is this is a far cry from Obama's position on the program in late 2012 when his administration argued for reducing Social Security benefits by recalculating the way cost of living adjustments are made. And they're talking about it's an evolution on Social Security. Don't give me that evolution bullshit.
And this is why Barack Obama is so scary. Because I told you when I heard that speech, that shit doesn't land for me at all. Because I knew about this before. But think about the people who don't know about that, who listen to the speech, and they like, oh man, Obama must be a champion of Social Security. Yeah. Do you guys see how the danger that Democrats pose now? It's a different level of danger. It's the same kind of evil, the same level of danger, but it's a different form. The difference between Democrats and Republicans. Republicans will just outright rally the most regressive policies and use the culture war to get people who will be impacted by them to support them. Meanwhile, the Democrats will say the good stuff, pretend they're on their side, while supporting the class warriors of the rich that is making your life worse.
Mm-hmm.
So evil, so evil. It's crazy how well the establishment set this game up because the Republicans are evil too, and they play their role and maintain the system. But the Democrats are, like Glenn Ford said, the most effective evil. And we can always argue, make and you guys can make counter arguments if you want. But in my lifetime, just seeing the Clinton administration, the Obama administration who doubled down on all George Bush's policies, the Biden administration who doubled down on all the worship Donald Trump's policies. For example, I remember the Randall, just one quick example. The Biden made a big deal about Donald Trump's unhinged escalatory actions against Iran, like pointing out Iran deal. They recently asked Anthony Blinken, they're like, yo, Donald Trump had this hardline, tough negotiation stance against Iran. I thought you guys were going to change that. He's like, nah, we're not changing none of that, actually. Oh, yeah. Hey, Anthony Blinken, remember when Donald Trump moved the capital of Israel to Jerusalem, which the international community condemned? Are you guys going to undo that insane Trump escalation? What he did with Jerusalem? Anthony Blinken and Biden administration was like, no, we're going to keep it.
Mm-hmm.
So they do the same thing. They just perform a different role. And there's a good argument made that the Democrats are better at it. Joe Biden look at Donald Trump. He looking at the fact that he funded the police more. He funded ICE more. He deported more Haitians than Donald Trump. He literally escalated World War III in a more efficient way than Donald Trump. He looking at Donald Trump like, you're a fucking amateur, bro. This whole managing the empire shit, you suck. Look at these protests that you can't even squash these protests. Go ahead, JB. They look down on Trump. They're like, man, you're a fucking amateur. You've got people marching in the streets. We keep zinging you in the media. You're being bossed around by the intelligence agencies are making a fool of you. Joe Biden, man, let me show you how to run this empire, motherfucker. Let me show you how to run this police state, amateur.
Mm-hmm. Just wanted to give a thank you to Egg64 for the super chat. Says some poor auntie was doting how Obama was still fine as hell. Yeah, I saw that in the audience.
Christ.
Wonder if they knew his fine ass was cutting their Social Security and Medicare. The more you know.
Oh my God.
Yo,
that's why I wrote the article I did. That's why I wrote. This is the article. Embrace MLK, reject Barack Obama, because our Gen X, not all of them, but a lot of them, our Gen X and Boomer brothers and sisters, they let us off a cliff following the neoliberal capitalist leaders that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, I'm not gonna read I'll literally just read the headline, the subheadline. I said, embrace MLK, reject Barack Obama, why leftists need to challenge the scourge of black neoliberalism. And I said, black boomers have led our generation off a cliff by embracing neoliberalism.
Mm-hmm.
All our old leaders, Malcolm X, Fred Hampton, MLK, Nelson Mandela, open anti-capitalists. And somehow they just switched it out of nowhere. We went from being anti-capitalist, from being socialist for the most part. Obviously, to be fair, there obviously was Black Wall Street. There always a black capitalist constituency in the black community. I will not deny that. But when it comes to talking about and leading and discussing socialist and Marxist ideas, we definitely was a leading community. Definitely, we went from that to, oh my God, Barack Obama. Oh my God, Eric Adams. Oh my God, Jim Clyburn. It's disgusting. It's literally disgusting. And I wrote this scathing article and I ripped our black liberals because if white people do it, they call racist. So it's upon us to do it because they really fucked us up. And I literally have a long article explaining why. People I'll pass it to you, JB. This is my last point.
Mm-hmm.
The Black Congressional Caucus, people say all the time, I remember during the Bernie campaign, people will apologize for Joe Biden writing a crime bill, because they will say, oh, well, you guys can't blame Joe Biden and the Democratic Party and Bill Clinton for supporting the crime bill because it was supported by the Black Congressional Caucus. Black people supported the crime bill. That's the fucking point. There was literally criminal justice activists that was fighting against that was completely ignored, but the Black Congressional Caucus sold our people out to the Democratic Party, apologized for the racism, into the prison industrial and military industrial complex. Go ahead, I ain't that there, but I can rant on the black. I know CJ hit me up, say you want to do a show on that. We're going to do a show on the black.
Oh, please do.
Oh
Dude,
my god, I can wait all
yeah,
day. But go ahead. I gotta probably head out because my brother about to be here soon.
yeah. I got a couple of things to bring up
Yeah,
too.
go ahead. I think I got like 5 more minutes.
Okay, all right. So here's the thing. I also want to show. Okay, so that's what Barack Obama basically did. That was what he deserved an Oscar for. But just like you said earlier, people aren't buying the bullshit, and I'm gonna show you why. And you're going to smile. My key is to make my brother smile today. This is what we're going to do. We're gonna make Nick smile. You ready, Nick? You ready, Nick? Okay. I'm not sure if you saw this, but if you didn't, I hope this brings a smile to your face. All right.
Come on. But this is what I mean. This is what I mean. I mean, we're having a conversation.
I love the internet.
They're saying fuck Joe Biden. There are a group of them, a big group of people saying fuck Joe Biden.
I think this video is an edit, JB. To be fair.
Really?
Because this is the I think this dude put the edit of people saying fuck Joe Biden, but it was the video of Barack Obama being heckled by the anti-war protesters.
Oh, for real?
And then the video went viral on Twitter because it's a funny edit.
So that's what this is?
Yeah. But this is the recent video of him being heckled, and when he started tone policing protesters. See, look, that thing. Look at that profile is a Trump guy. So they like put that like right wing. They put that like the fuck Joe Biden.
Oh, so wait, where's the original then?
I have it on my timeline. I have it because there's a video. MSNBC posted it of these hecklers going after Barack Obama, and then Barack Obama went to this whole tone policing nonsense. Yeah, I put the link. I posted it because that's. The thing is, a lot of people thought that was real. Like, and you're not the only one. There are a lot of people, but that was a edit that was funny. It's a funny edit. Man. Here it is. I got the video. I'll put it in the link so you can control it.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Here you go. So I remember I thought the same. I saw that. I was like, "Yo, is that fucking real? No way." I was like,
I thought that was real. Man, they fooled me.
One of the reasons I doubted it because I saw Trump people spreading out like, all right, no, this is so. And I was looking up where I saw the original video earlier than that. So if you see that video first, it's easy to think that they would just chant "fuck Joe Biden." Also, another reason why I thought like, why you say "fuck Joe Biden"? Nigga, Barack Obama right there, bro. Say "fuck Barack Obama."
Yeah.
You see, I put the link. I put the link in there, right? You can put. I put.
Yeah. I'm going to the direct YouTube video because that's actually where it's at.
That's true by Techno State. He said Trump drove people to the left, Biden drives them to the right. And I told you guys my story about my dad, just an anecdotal story. Well, my dad literally was more receptive to socialist ideas just because he saw Donald Trump and Republicans demonize socialism. I'm all talking to my dad. My dad is not a socialist by any means, but we were talking about healthcare and because this was around time to work on the brain campaign. He was like, "Yeah, I know Republicans say it's socialism," but he's like, "I see nothing wrong with giving people healthcare. I see nothing." I swear to God, the only reason he said that is because he heard Trump and Republicans demonize giving people healthcare as socialism. So Trump and Reagan syndrome worked in our favor in that sense. But the reason why Barack Obama and Joe Biden dangerous, the second part of his comment, is that Barack Obama dragged an entire generation of black people to the right. The same way that Joe Biden is dragging the entirety of the progressive movement to the right. People like Ilhan and Ro Khanna used to tweet about the dangers of arming Ukrainian Nazis. Now they're fighting anti-war protesters. That's them being dragged to the right by the party. But anyway, let's get back to the video because this is the original video. And I can break this down before I leave because this is why I kind of want to cover it anyway.
Sure.
And I'll preface it with this. I'll be real quick when we get to the video. We talked about this on Nick and CJ when Ilhan was and Jamal Bowman AOC was jeered. The weaponization of civility politics. You guys gonna see it here. Let's play the video and I'll explain more afterwards.
All right.
Yes. So, sir, wait, come on. But this is what I mean. This is what I mean. I mean, we're having a conversation.
No, we are not. No, we are not.
Sir.
Pause, JB, real quick. Pause real quick. So this guy is calling out Obama, and he's saying, "Oh, we were having a conversation." Come on. First, he's like shocked because he dared the king dare get pushed back, and then he's like, "Come on, man, we having a conversation." No, we're not. You're giving a speech and bullshitting people. And this is a common theme, and I'm bringing this up now because you're gonna keep going back to it. He's like, "Man, this is not how we do things around here. Come on, man, we're gonna have a conversation and we're gonna have a dialogue. You can't interrupt me." No, nigga, we gotta interrupt you because that's the only way you will hear us.
Yeah, exactly. The civility.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No, this civility politics bullshit is exactly why we're in the situation that we are now. Because the thing is that you guys wouldn't pay attention to us when we actually were respectful. So now we have the pitchforks and torches at the door waiting for you just so that you'll be able to listen with whatever goddamn thing that we have to say. So guess what, Barack? Then guess what? You're going to have to listen. You're going to have to shut up, stand there, and listen to what we have to say. Because we're sick and tired of listening to you because you've been bullshitting us the whole time.
And who else did that, JB? I don't know if you saw our coverage on Nick and CJ, but we broke it down if you guys saw it. Remember when Jamal Bowman was interrupted? And he said, "Come on, man, you can't do. Why are you doing this, man? Let's speak. Let's talk to the side." And then he let the guy hang for over an hour, hoping the guy would leave. And then he talked for a little bit and then brushed him to the side. Mm-hmm. So I told you, AOC Jamal Bowman, because she did the same thing with Shoes Hacker. Come on, guy, you can't interrupt me. We're having a conversation. We're having a dialogue. No, we're not. For one, and that's the only way we get you guys to listen. They say, "Oh my God, come on, man, you interrupt our dialogue." That's not what's happening. And then when we're gonna continue the video, look at how propagandized Americans are. Now, to be fair, a lot of these people are Democrat plants at these events. Like there are a lot of staffers there, and I want to emphasize that. Mm-hmm. But you see the crowd. I'm gonna explain more after we play the video. But the crowd starts covering for Barack Obama in a disgusting coat-like display. Why? Just rewind it like 5 seconds and let it play, JB.
Okay. All right.
Sir, I'm not. Sir.
They're chanting Obama to drown out the protester.
Sir, this is what I'm saying. Look, there is a process that we set up in our democracy. Right now, I'm talking. You'll have a chance to talk sometime.
He lied. Pause it. You hear that lie? JB. He said, "I'm talking. You will have your talk. You have your time to talk." And you see and when you rewind it like 5 seconds, you see he catches himself because he knows he lies. And once you guys look at the pause, he said, "I'm talking. You will have your chance to talk." No, he won't. When will this guy have the chance to talk, Obama? The same to Jamal and AOC and Ilhan, who did the same thing. When will that guy have an opportunity to spread his message to the audience? He won't. So let's play it again. You guys want to talk about, and I'll let it play for a little bit. I just want to emphasize that moment.
Talk sometime.
No, just go back like 10 seconds. Go like 10 seconds. We missed. And now I'll let it play for a little bit. I just want you guys to see that part again.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I'm talking. You'll have a chance to talk sometime. You don't have to interrupt each other.
Sometime soon.
You don't have to shout each other down. It's not a good way to do business. You wouldn't do that at a workplace. If you wouldn't just interrupt people in the middle.
Motherfucker, say the workplace.
Nigga, you work for us. Y'all work for us, you slimy fuck. You see the elitism, JB? He viewed this as a workplace. Nigga, you work for me. The voters, y'all work for me. I am your boss. I am giving you a speech, and you will show me respect. Barack Obama let it slip right there. You see that, JB?
Motherfucker doesn't deserve no respect. Look. The black wealth tanked under you, dude. What respect are you due?
What the fuck?
Just go back to your house in Martha's Vineyard and shut the fuck up. My God. Like, are you kidding me right now? Go ahead and buy your Phoenix Suns and shut the fuck up. I got that article too. Shit.
When people are under duress, they tend to show their real selves. So you saw how Barack Obama was quote unquote impressive. Then he was interrupted by the peasantry. And then you see the real Barack Obama come out here. You see it immediately when you get frustrated, immediately go to elitism. I am talking. I am your boss. This is a workplace. You shut the fuck up. Go back 10 seconds. We go back 10 seconds. We play that moment again where you guys can see the real Barack Obama come out when he's under duress and when the whole charade falls apart. Like Mike Tyson says, everyone is a great fighter until they get punched in the face. Everyone looks good until you get stumbled like this. So let's play it again, and we let it play for a little bit longer as well.
Okay.
See, right now I'm talking. You'll have a chance to talk sometime soon. You don't have to interrupt each other. You don't have to shout each other down. It's not a good way to do business. It's that you wouldn't do that at a workplace.
Business.
If you wouldn't just interrupt people in the middle of a conversation. It's not how we do things. And this is part of the point that I want to make. Just
look at these fucking sheets cheering for Obama and cheering the other. What a piece of shit.
And that's what we want to try to encourage.
Civility, just basic. Look, you see it?
No.
He uses the term.
Wait.
We want to have basic civility. Pause.
And this guy's
basic
probably
civility. The enemy of the workers. Go ahead, JB. Go ahead.
And this guy's probably on the left that's probably challenging Obama. That's probably challenging him based on war.
According to Jose, he can't really hear him. So I'm taking Jose word for it. He said this is one of his friends that will challenge Obama on his war record. And that was just because of a tweet I seen. But go ahead, JB. We can go. Go ahead, JB.
Okay.
Just for that context, so you guys know. Just so you guys know. But go ahead, JB.
Got it. Thanks.
Yeah. Look, listen. Hey, hold up. Hold on a minute. Listen, everybody. Hey, y'all up there, pay attention. Here's what happens. Listen. No. I mean, this is part of. Not only is this an example of what I'm talking about, but it's also an example of how we get distracted.
Yo, that pissed me off right there. That pissed me the fuck off right there. Like, are you kidding me right now?
Oh my god, this is such a hard video to get through, isn't it?
Yes, bro.
This is only a 3-minute video.
Yo, somebody literally hit you on your war record, and then you turn it back and make it seem like that person is crazy or that person is deranged. Bro, he is a master gaslighter, bro.
Yes.
Like, seriously. You dude, bro, 90% of your drone bombings were against civilians. And you have the nerve to actually shush somebody for tackling you on that? You literally kill little kids, teenagers from your drone bombings, and you're trying to shush somebody who brings that to attention? Oh my God. This guy is, bro, I can't finish it. I can't finish it. Because, bro, I'm a scream. Oh my God. I'm gonna say,
So I'll share this and I had to bounce. My brother already pulled up. But this is my tweet on that event. I said Barack Obama using civility politics to silence anti-war protesters, the same as Ilhan, AOC, and the squad. Civility politics is the enemy of the working class. And me and CJ did a stream on this. You can literally search it on the library. We talk about how civility politics is used as a weapon. And I'm so glad that we got footage of Barack Obama, Ilhan, AOC, and all of them doing it recently, because they literally demonstrated what our live stream talked about already. That was an example of how they do it.
Yeah.
Civility politics is the enemy of the working class and will get us all killed. And that's not exaggeration. People are tone policing, activists calling out politicians who are advocating escalating nuclear war. Stop challenging the people who are promoting nuclear war because you're being mean. Are you guys fucking serious? Here's Fabby. I know you're gonna talk about this since I passed it to you. She said, Fabby, our friend, he's too busy trying to buy a basketball team to actually focus on the needs of the working class and the poor. And this is my friend Michael. Liberals, the real problem is the war criminal's tone, not all the civilians he killed. At least be pleasant while you kill them. There are a lot of great replies out here. I want to show this one. This is what I was scrolling for. This is civility politics in a nutshell. This is the amazing Barack Obama family that everyone loves. This is the family that can't exist because of Barack Obama, but they want us to be nice to this guy.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think I'm done. I'll wrap up here, JB. Thank you for allowing me crash.
Yeah.
Here's another good one. I want to show this one because this is a good way to end it. Easy to be civil when your bills are easily paid. I think that says it all, right?
That says it all.
I need there. Thank you for having me, JB.
Thanks for coming, man. I appreciate it.
Anytime, brother.
All right. All right, people. I got a couple more things to share. In regards to Obama. So thanks, Nick, for joining me for that great part of the segment. I also want to go to this. Okay, so in Sabby's tweet, as Nick brought out, Barack Obama is also planning to purchase a basketball team, or he might be purchasing a basketball team. So this is the super privileged Obama that is like, oh, well, you might buy a basketball team. This is from Bleacher Report. Let's see. It says Bill Simmons, Barack Obama involved with groups seeking to buy Phoenix Suns. This is a few days ago. It says the Phoenix Suns' next ownership may be presidential. Bill Simmons of The Ringer said former President Barack Obama is involved in one of the groups considering a bid to buy the Suns from Robert Sarver. I heard Obama's involved in one of these groups. Let's see. I think Charles Barkley said that's the one guy I feel like they would make him the actual face. And the money guys would be so happy to have him in front that they would just be like, cool. And Barkley said he would buy only if Barack Obama was the only president that was involved in buying it. So that being said, the fact that Obama even has enough money to buy an entire basketball team, that shows you the amount of inequality, that shows you the amount of hubris, that he can just shush an anti-war protester and make the anti-war protester seem like the uncivil one. Uncivil is wanting to cut Social Security for millions of Americans like me. That's uncivil. Uncivil is bombing innocent people in other countries. That's uncivil. Uncivil is placing a right-wing healthcare plan for everyone here in the United States. That was a huge giveaway to the private insurance companies. That's uncivil. In fact, let's go there. Because that's what Barack Obama did. This is from July of 2013. This is out of the Progressive Cynic. And right here it says, despite what the right may now claim, a market-based solution to healthcare is a right-wing idea, not a progressive one. A progressive plan would involve the nationalization of healthcare providers and massive reductions to private health insurance markets. But what did Obama do? He instituted the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. This is from the Right Wing Heritage Foundation. It says require all households to purchase at least a basic package of insurance unless they are covered by Medicaid, Medicare, or other government health programs. The private insurance market would be reformed to make a standard basic package available to all at an acceptable price. That is basically giving tons of money to private insurance companies that basically their model is to deny you care so that they make more money. And that's what Obama instituted. And the funny part is you have a lot of conservatives that talk about, oh my God, Obamacare was a disaster. Yes, it was a disaster. And it's your healthcare plan. So this is why I say Obama deserves an award, because he's gotten so many people, including and especially Black people, fooled. And it got y'all really to forget your roots. I'm just being real. Because guess what? Barack Obama will be talking about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And he'll talk about how, well, he was great for racial equality and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, wait a minute, what about the economic equality that he was talking about? He was talking about really giving the means of production over to the workers. Oh, but see, you can't talk about that. You can't point that out, because then that means that that's actually going to be bad for, you and your Wall Street buddies. That's what it's about. That's what, Barack Obama was about. Also, this little gem, because I made this point earlier, and some people decided to go up against me because I said this, and they're like, "Oh, well, Obama wasn't president in 2008. He was the president in 2009, but it still happened." This is out of Jacobin. Make sure I enlarge this so everybody can see. How does Obama destroy Black wealth? This is from Matt Brooming and Ryan Cooper. Says the Obama presidency was a disaster for middle-class wealth in the United States. Between 2007 and 2016, the average wealth of the bottom 99% dropped by 4,500. Over the same time, over the same period, the average wealth of the top 1% rose by 4.9 million. This drop hit the housing wealth of African Americans particularly hard. Outside of home equity, Black wealth recovered its 2007 level by 2016, but average Black home equity was still $16,700 lower. And so basically, it says after the 2008 collapse, the Wall Street banks that caused the crisis got spectacular sums in the form of the Troubled Asset Relief Package, or TARP, and discount loans from the Federal Reserve. According to one estimate, they receive a staggering $29 trillion in cash and loans. 29 trillion with the T. Trillion. 29 yo, hold up. Wait a minute. Let's go. Trillion. Y'all see my eyeballs? Trillion. Where's our money? Why weren't people given direct money so that they can keep their homes? Why weren't we given a universal healthcare system? Why wasn't Roe v. Wade codified into law? Why didn't we have public colleges tuition free? Why wasn't student loan debt canceled? Why do we still have homeless in the streets? But somehow, these banks and mortgage companies can get 29 trillion in loans as well as just giveaways. By the way, hang on. How could it be because of the GOP when Obama was president and he had a majority in the House and a super majority in the Senate between 2008 and 2010? He could have reversed all that. He could have said, no. This money's going to go straight to the people. And he could have did it. But instead he didn't. So much so that it pissed everybody off. So much so that in 2010, during the midterms, the Democratic Party got shellacked and they lost over 1,000 seats in different government seats throughout the country. So you can blame the GOP all you want, but the thing is that who was the people that were in power at the time? It was the Obama regime, which led to the Trump regime, which led to the Biden regime. Because Obama was not that different than the Bush regime. So Obama was like, oh, I want to work with Republicans. That tells you everything you need to know. So you look at black wealth that was tanked under him, and then next thing you know, yet somehow you say one thing about Patron Saint Obama, and a bunch of people, especially a lot of older black people, will look at you sideways like, what? Why are you going to say that about our first black president? I just did. So yeah. You know what, LB? That's a good one. But I'll say this. Obama was Reagan in blackface. How about that? I think, because he was Obama, he was Bush 2.0, but I think I think Obama was Reagan in blackface. That's basically what he was. And a lot of people are probably gonna, a lot of black people will probably look at me and go, "Oh man, JB, you can't say that. Obama was good for who? Who was he good for?" I'm done with the whole civility politics BS because that ain't help us. Civility politics ain't got us nowhere. And we were constantly told, oh, well, we have to be civil, blah, blah, blah. And it's like every single time we were civil, every single time we turned the other cheek, we still got slapped in the face. So guess what? People are still sick and tired of it. Colin, thank you so much for the super chat. Says Obama's clip really hurts knowing my 79-year-old mom's kidneys are failing. Oh, damn. Failing, and she's refusing dialysis because she can't afford treatment. Fuck. This right here, this is why we get pissed off. This is why we get pissed off. This is why there's a lot of us who are black people who are on the left that are pissed at people like Obama. We're pissed at James Clyburn. We're pissed at Maxine Waters. We're pissed at Barbara Lee and Sheila Jackson Lee. We're pissed at the Congressional Black Caucus. We're pissed at them. We're pissed at Nina Turner. Yes, Nina Turner. We're pissed at her. A lot of us are also pissed at Bakari Sellers. We're pissed at them. Why? We feel sold out. We feel sold out. Hampton warned y'all. X warned y'all. King warned y'all. Shakur warned y'all. Right? Davis warned y'all. So many others. Abu Jamal warned y'all. Jackson warned y'all. They warned you. They warned you. They told you. They were like, look, don't trust these motherfuckers because they are going to sell you out. And what did you guys do? You guys put your hope into somebody that literally sold us out. And then he jumps up on stage trying to put on, this black scent, this Ave, to make himself sound more appealing to everybody. And then guess what happens? Y'all believe it. Y'all go with the okie doke. Oh, well, he looks like us, so he must be for us. All skin folk ain't kin folk. Have you heard that before? And then when somebody like Tavis Smiley or Dr. Cornel West put a little bit of pushback against them, a little bit of critique, then y'all want to go up against them. The Al Sharptons and the Michael Eric Dysons are like, oh, you can't talk about him like that. Why not? Why not? He's the one who actually sold us out. He's the one that turned 2 wars into 7. How's Guantanamo Bay looking at for you? Oh, it's still open? Oh, it's still open the entire 8 years that he was president? Oh my God, really? This is why a lot of us black people are now woke up to who Barack Obama really was. We woke up to who he really was, and we peeped the game. And that's who he is. And some people may come in and be like, oh, well, if you're against Barack Obama, you must be on the right. Wrong, baby. Barack Obama is closer to Candace Owens than I will ever be. Barack Obama is closer to Kanye than I will ever be. Barack Obama is closer to Herschel Walker than I will ever be. That's something that people, it blows their minds. It's crazy. It's wicked, man. Egg64, thank you so much for the super chat. Obama was literally good for feels and vibes. That's it. Yep. Now, I'm gonna be real. Did I shed a few tears when he first got elected? Yes, but I was ignorant. Back in 2008, yeah. I had a couple of tears coming out of my eyes. I was like, damn, we finally got one that looks like us. But that's the long and short of it. I think I had something else to add before I go. Um, I can get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. I can get rid of that article. Okay. I can also get rid of that. So this is why there's a lot of us black people on the left that do not agree with Obama. Remember during the George Floyd protests when the NBA was this close to going on strike? They were this close. NBA was close to going on strike. And what happened? Bring. Hey, it's Barack Obama. You guys really don't need to go on that strike stuff. Just wear a couple, shirts with the names of them on and keep on playing. Click. He spoke to the head of the NBA Players Association. I think, is it Chris Paul? I'm not into sports, so I really don't know, but I think it's Chris Paul. I think it was. But yeah, that's what happened. And guess what? That could have been the start to help us get into a general strike. But guess what? Obama made that call because he didn't want people to be ignited like that. Bernie Sanders probably could have been president, but guess who came in and made the call for everybody else to drop out to support Joe Biden? Old Barry himself. Now, don't get me wrong. Bernie's nowhere near what I would like for him to be. Not at all, especially the way I think now. But he was slightly better than the rest of them. But even that was too much. And now you have Barack Obama going on the campaign trail because the Democrats are worried. Worried, actually. And so they're touting him out now to try to get more people to support the Democrats for the midterms, when you and I both know that because of their performance, their poor performance, the Democrats are going to get shellacked. And now, because the powers that be determined it, it's now time for the Republicans to actually be in power. So that's basically what time it is. And so on November 8th, expect it to be at or close to 2010 levels. When they lost 1,000 seats, yeah, there's going to lose a shit ton of seats on November 8th. There's going to be a lot of Democratic people losing. Because this government has just did a terrible job. And that's on purpose, by the way. Thanks, fam, Samity Sam, for the super sticker. Appreciate it very much. And Colin, thank you so much. Says, why is Obama campaigning when Biden should be? He's in Delaware this weekend. Great question, Colin. That's a really good question. Why isn't Biden campaigning? Why do they got to get his former boss to do the work that he should be doing? We're in the last 2 weeks. Shouldn't the president be out there on a campaign trail? Oh, right. They got to get to somebody who's popular. Biden's not popular. Biden still doesn't draw crowds like Obama can. Why? Because Biden's horrible. They don't want to see Biden. Great question, Colin. Also, Egg64 says, I'll say it until I die. Barack Obama stopped the NBA strike because he wanted to watch the NBA finals and couldn't be bored during the pandemic. That's rich ass privilege. So yeah, I just want to say, don't pay any attention to Barack Obama. He's full of shit. And yeah, He's just as full of shit as Clinton, Bush, Trump, and Biden. He's just as full of shit as they are. Anywho, I also have something to share as well. Before that, let me get into the comments. Let me make sure. Oh, this is a good. All right, hold up. See, this is why I'm glad I stopped to look at Rockfin, baby. This comment. Ooh, this is a y'all be prepared for this one. Okay. Thank you for this comment on Rockfin Hempcar. Hempcar says, thank you, Abdulrahman Alawaki, 16-year-old American boy who liked Mario and American TV, blew his head off with a drone. Mother identified him by his moppy hair. Obama White House says, should have been a more responsible father. I'm sorry, should have had a more responsible father. Like he can choose. Was Anwar tried in court? War crimes. So they killed a little kid and said, well, his father should have been more responsible. Let me ask you something. Who does that? That sounds like some gangster type shit. That sounds like some gangster type shit. Right? Like, hold up. You're gonna murder the guy's kid? You're gonna murder his kid? Like what? Oh, his father should have been more responsible. That's Obama. That's Obama. Oh, he didn't have any scandals. No, that's a scandal right there. 16-year-old kid. Obama had a hand in murdering. Why do I say that Obama needs to be tried for war crimes? That's why. That's why. Man, thank you, Hempcar, for that deep comment. Thank you so much. Dustin Schlesinger says, and people calling them out during speeches is uncivil. Right? Right? Like, what? Wade says, oh, yeah, when he droned the U.S. citizen. Yeah, that kid that was 16, he was a citizen. He was a U.S. citizen, bro. He was a U.S. citizen. Yes, LB, psychopathic killers. By the way, I love your picture, Uncle Rico. Yeah, Memison. Yeah. That's why we're here, to remind you the war crimes of all these presidents. Mousted says, Che Guevara's hands are in a glass case in the CIA lobby. That's how these. Wait, what? No way. Bullshit. That can't be real. That can't be real, Mousted. That cannot be real. Please just tell me you're just joking, bro. Please tell me you're joking. Nah, see, when somebody tells me to Google it, oh man. These people are a bunch of fucking psychopaths, bro. God damn it. So Sundorgo. Yes, that's actually something I'm gonna be talking about right now. Yeah, I can't even think about that, what y'all just told me. Holy shit. I did not know. They had a documentary about, oh my god. Jeez Louise, that's some sick shit, man. That's some fascist type shit, man. I'm gonna move on because that just mm-mm. um but yeah. Uh let's go to this right quick. So this is from Zay Squirrel. Zay Squirrel is a really good account. You guys should follow Zay Squirrel on Twitter. But Zay Squirrel says, if Lula wins later today, it will not only be a victor. Hold on, wait a minute. Okay. If Lula wins later today, it will not only be a victory for Brazilians, but also for Venezuelans, Cubans, Palestinians, and others targeted by the far right pro Israel foreign policy of Bolsonaro's regime, totally beholden to U.S. imperial interests. It continues. Bolsonaro is a cuck of Israel. And the CIA, following the demands dutifully as it hurts Brazilians, like when he kicked out Cuban doctors or praised the assassination of Soleimani to please Israel and Europe. With Lula, all those relations will be restored to their mutual benefit. Lula defied the US and Israel by recognizing Palestinian statehood when president, leading the way for other South American countries to do the same. He also defied when they were gearing up for war with Iran, which Hillary in particular did not like, as he discusses here. So let's.
Depois de 2 dias de conversa, estava muito difícil, eu falei para a Ahmadinejad, eu não vou regressar ao Brasil sem a sua assinatura. Sabe? E ele falou para mim, não, mas não dá para ser acordo de palavra, não dá para ser um acordo verbal. Eu dizia, não dá, porque lá ninguém acredita em vocês. Eles dizem que os iranianos são mentirosos e não cumprem acordo. Então, eu só vou se for por escrito. E ele aceitou o acordo, tal como nós propusemos. E eu fiquei surpreso, porque quando eu imaginava que o Obama ia ficar feliz com o acordo, ele aumentou as sanções contra o Irã. Aí nós.
So he talked about Obama increasing sanctions in Iran.
Descobrimos que a Hillary Clinton não tinha conhecimento da carta que o Obama tinha me entregue, porque ela estranhou quando o ministro Celso Amorim falou para ela da carta. Mas eu não tive outra situação a não ser publicar a carta do Obama. Sabe? A não ser publicar a carta do Obama para as pessoas perceberem que nós não tínhamos feito nenhuma loucura. E o acordo que nós fizemos era mais preciso do que o acordo que foi assinado pela Europa e pelos Estados Unidos. Então, foi uma coisa muito desagradável. Qual é a impressão que eu fiquei? A impressão que eu fiquei é que os países ricos, sobretudo liderado, sabe, pelo pensamento, sabe, do Departamento de Estado norte-americano, não aceitam um novo protagonista na área. Ou seja, na cabeça deles, o Brasil não tinha tamanho.
So, also in the one of the reporters there was the late Michael Brooks. That was also one of the reporters there.
Não ir. Eu cheguei em Moscou, fui encontrar com o Medvedev, o Obama tinha ligado para o Medvedev.
And then Zay Squirrel continues, says, here's Lula explaining how his government lifted millions out of poverty and immiseration. But yeah, so the second round of elections for Brazil is happening this evening. In fact, I think in a couple hours they should have some of the first numbers coming in. But yeah, so that's happening today. So if Lula wins, that's going to be massive blow to the U.S., especially when it comes to the Western hegemony, because Lula is further to the left. However, is Lula as further to the left as say a Diaz Canal or the presidents of Venezuela or something like that? I don't think so, but he's left enough that it poses a threat to a lot of U.S. hegemony. So, but yes, so I just want to thank everybody for joining in today for this discussion. Yes, Obama is he's the performative, war criminal that honestly really should be tried for war crimes by the people. And I hope a lot of people, especially a lot of us Black people, start looking at Obama for the person that he really is. Someone that is truly against workers, someone that is truly against really liberation of the Black community, someone that is against the liberation of people who are indigenous, someone that works against the interests of even his other half, the white community, the working class white community. He's against them too. So really, he is no different than Donald Trump, George W. Bush, Joe Biden, Bill Clinton, or Ronald Reagan. Barack Obama is no different than any one of them. And so the thing is that anybody who sits here and thinks that he is some savior or thinks that he's just a good guy, he's not. He's not. And the mere fact that is that he uses the tomfoolery to make all of us go, well, he looks like us, he sounds like us, so I guess he's good for us, when that's not the case. So I just want to thank all of you for joining today. By the way, if you guys have not seen it on my channel, I did the latest reading of Dirty Truths by Michael Parenti on my channel. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, Michael Parenti has some things to say about Noam Chomsky, and that was some tea that was spilled on my channel. In fact, let me link my channel just so that you guys have that as well, because those readings, boy, oh boy, let me tell you, them readings are. And then I also did a live stream of me reading Blood in My Eye by George Jackson, where he literally goes against FDR, the patron saint of the sock Dems. He literally, oh my goodness. And he tells you, look, okay, I'm gonna say this. He literally calls FDR a fascist, and he explains why. So y'all may want to go onto my channel and listen to that, because boy, let me tell you, boy. Let me make sure I get this here. So yeah, that's on my channel for that reading. That was some hot tea spill. And so yeah, and let me know what you think about some of the facts that were displayed here about Barack Obama and how his ties are to Wall Street, and how it's really damaging us as working people. Because at this rate, even if we all, suffer even more, Obama's going to be okay. He got his home in Martha's Vineyard. He can go on his vacations back to Hawaii. He's good. He'll always be good as long as his system continues the way it's going. He's never going to have anything bad. So what does he care about us? He just has to keep the cycle going. So thanks everybody for joining. Thanks everybody for watching. Yepx says, but JB, the bombs Obama used have really nice flags, symbols, and phrases on them. Oh Lord, that was funny. I wanted to make sure I got to that. But yeah, everybody, please continue to have a wonderful and beautiful day. Water your plants, water yourselves, leave the world better than you found it. Wait, hang on. Yes, bad cookies. It is good. Oh, by the way, next time I read, I'm finishing it. I'm finishing it. I can't wait. Okay. All right. That made me happy. Okay. I've actually completed an entire book. Thank God. Oh, Lord. Oh, smoke them if you got them. Drink them if you got them. If you ain't got them. Just laugh and be joyful, because joy is revolutionary. Forehead kisses to every single one of you. I love you. And guess what? I love you more than Obama does. Believe that. Bye! Love you. Kisses. I can't stop being sexy. It's in my nature. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you.